Bai Ji was one of the most beloved poets of the Tang dynasty. He lived from 772 to 846, right in the middle of China's golden age of poetry. He was famous for writing in a clear, simple style that ordinary people could actually understand. Today we are looking at a poem he wrote when he was just a teenager. The poem is called Grass on the Ancient Plain, a Farewell. That long title actually tells us exactly what is going on in the poem. It is about wild grass on an old plain, and it is also a poem about saying goodbye to someone you care about. Bai Ji was around 16 years old when he composed these lines. Let me read the whole poem first, and then we will take it apart line by line together. The poem opens with a vivid picture of dense grass covering a vast open plain. Each year the grass withers and then flourishes again in a cycle that never ends. Wildfire burns it all to the ground, but it can never truly destroy it once and for all. When the spring wind blows, the grass comes right back to life. Its fragrance reaches far along the ancient road, creeping steadily outward. Its bright green stretches all the way to the walls of an abandoned city. And so once more I send a dear friend off, the grass thick with the sorrow of parting. Let us start with that opening image of the wide open plain. The word lili describes grass that is dense, tall, and spreading everywhere you look. Picture an endless plain covered in wild grass, swaying gently in the breeze. Right away, Bai Ji puts us in a wide, open space with no end in sight. Then he tells us something we all know but rarely pause to actually feel. Every single year, the grass dries up and dies, and then comes back lush and green. That is the rhythm of nature itself. One withering, one flourishing, over and over. He captures the entire life cycle of the grass in just 5 Chinese characters. Now comes the most famous couplet in the entire poem, and maybe the most famous lines Bai Ji ever wrote. Wildfire sweeps across the plain and burns everything above the ground to ash. It looks like total destruction, like nothing could possibly survive something like that. But the fire cannot reach the living roots buried deep beneath the soil. Then the spring wind arrives, warm and gentle, and the grass pushes up through the earth again. At this point, the poem is not just about grass anymore. It is about something much bigger. It is about resilience, about the stubborn refusal to stay down and stay defeated. No wonder these 2 lines became some of the most quoted lines in all of Chinese literature. Think about what fire really represents in this particular image. It is violent, fast, and spectacular, burning through everything that stands in its path. But fire is also temporary. It burns out and leaves only ashes behind, and then it is gone. The grass, on the other hand, is patient and quiet and plays the long game. The spring wind is really the turning point of the whole poem. After the devastation of the fire, the wind brings warmth and moisture and new life. Green shoots break through the blackened earth, fragile but completely unstoppable. Bai Ji makes you feel that quiet thrill of something coming back from the dead. In the second half, the poem shifts from the open plain to the road. The fragrance of distant wildflowers spreads along an ancient road, pushing ever outward. That word qin, to invade, is striking because it makes the fragrance feel almost aggressive. The grass and flowers are reclaiming the old road that people have long stopped walking. Then the bright green of the grass stretches all the way to a ruined, abandoned city in the distance. Notice how the living grass meets the dead city, green touching crumbling old walls. The plain is quietly reclaiming what humans once built and then walked away from. There is something both beautiful and a little melancholy about that haunting image. Now the poem turns to the farewell itself, and the mood shifts. The word Wang Sun originally meant a noble young lord, but here it simply means a dear friend. Once again, I am sending someone I care about away down that same ancient road. The repetition of "oh," meaning again, tells us this is not the first parting. The poem closes with the word qi, describing thick, lush grass stretching everywhere. But now that dense grass is no longer just scenery, it is full of the feeling of parting. The grass and the emotion have become one and the same thing, woven together. Every blade of grass seems to carry a piece of the sadness of saying goodbye. Here is something remarkable about this poem that many people do not know. Bai Ji wrote it when he was around 16 as a practice piece for the imperial exam. The prefix "fuda" means the topic was assigned by the examiners, not freely chosen. Legend says he brought it to an official named Gu Kuang, who was so impressed he completely changed his mind about the young man. So there you have it, a poem about grass that is really about resilience and friendship. Bai Ji reminds us that what burns down can always grow back, and that parting, though painful, is just part of life. Next time you see grass pushing through a crack in the pavement, think of this poem. Thanks for reading along, and I will see you in the next one.
离离原上草，一岁一枯荣。野火烧不尽，春风吹又生。远芳侵古道，萋翠接荒城。又送王孙去，萋萋满别情。